Well, welcome to Primavera, our free workshop. So we do this every month once, and we are doing on a topic in this month is on the crashing and frost technique. These are two techniques which helps us to do the shortening your project duration time. Of course, let's get into the program and see how we can push into it. I'll be doing a small introduction. Then after that, my team is going to take over and do the presentation for you. Okay. For your information, just the line is muted, and then if any questions, there is a question box area where you can type in or you can raise your hands. So we will answer your questions by end of the sessions, of course. So the link, this video is got recorded, and then you will get a recorded sessions, okay, by email, maybe in 1 or 2 days later from today, of course, okay. And every participants who are attending it will get the participant certificates that will come along with your the recorded session email. Okay, a couple of days later or 1 day later, whatever the email comes in that it will come, of course. Okay, let's see about us. ImageGrafix. ImageGrafix, we are a software solution providing company, started in 1996 in Dubai. So we do have office in India. India is a big setup for us. We have about like 8 offices across various cities to cover the complete pan India. In UAE, we have office in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Apart from that, we do have office in a licensing office in Canada to take some jobs to operate in this market, of course, to us. To know more about us, image-graphics.com is our Middle East website, and imagegraphics.in is our Indian website. You can go and check all more information about us. Just to know about what solutions we're providing it. So this is the enterprise solution division, and this solutions helps the customers to provide the technologies from your tendering till the handing over, of course, to you. So when I'm saying the tendering, let's say during the bid management, so if you would like to do the complete cost estimations from the basic JPEG PDF file, you want to find out the quantity, bill of quantity. From that, you have to estimate the cost to submit your bid and to evaluate the various subcontractor who are the prices given, and to cross check and put it everything and make it a proper proposal to send it to the customers. We will be in a position to help you by using a product called CostOS, of course. Okay, then coming to the portfolio management. So if you're an owner who wants to take a decision that I have multiple project proposals comes to me, and I just want to take a decision of where to invest my money. So I just want to check my portfolio and to go with the best one, or based on the criteria what we have. So that you can position to do by using a couple of choice. One is Oracle Primavera Cloud, so that is available, and another is called the Primavera Unifier. These are the packages helps you to do the same, and that's what we can do. Then obviously coming to our flagship area, the enterprise project management. So the we all know that the product is Primavera P6 EPPM. It's there in the market for so many years. So that is available by default, where we can position to help you to put as a basic standalone or the proper server client architecture part. Or if you would like to go, then obviously there is a if you want to go to the cloud, then there is an option, is a Primavera cloud option is also available for you on the same. So the project management for the planners, it's not only limited to the planners now, it's become an integrated total life projects, project life cycle management for you, of course. So all these things which you can position to perform and maintain by using the solutions. And going further to us, we know that it's most probably the project management on this P6, we mainly try to control on the timing and the durations, basically, that the cost point of view. If you want to do a proper cost control for your projects, then obviously with respect to the budget, and make the payment to your subcontract, everything to maintain it properly, then obviously Primavera Unifier is a best product for that. And then same, if you would like to have on the cloud, there is an option also, of course, to you. These all on the project management side. When it comes to the engineering analysis, we do have a solutions. We have a tie-up with the companies like Hexagon, who are pioneer in mainly the oil and gas, power, marine market. AFT is basically for doing a flow analysis, and then Autodesk we are dealing mainly in Middle East, not in India. It's for your BIM related solutions. So for the Revit, 3D modeling, BIM 3D, BIM 4D, BIM 5D. So all these things which we can push to have the solution, and then that is also available on cloud now, of course. Field management. So now we have these options. So Oracle Primavera Cloud. So to take care of your field part, the lean scheduling is available. The last planner who do a day-to-day planning activity, progress update preparations, and then the cross-checking that activity whether has been completed or not, and to putting the informations back to the scheduler to capture all this information. Yes, we do have a solution for you. Then obviously the complete project need the document managements to handle it. Of course, it need to have a workflow, proper approvals, and to the document has to go on a different people for the approvals and for the next step to go. So these things which we can push and do by using Oracle Primavera Cloud. And it has a facility for your transmittals, submittals, all these things, so that handing over can be as digitally as possible by using this particular application. So from the tendering till the handing over, the full-fledged solutions where we can push to use the Oracle Primavera solutions and can push and help you to get into the same. So to know more about us, as I informed you, you can visit our website or you can push and send email and messages to us on the same. Okay. Now let's get into the main topic. That's a project management. The today's topic obviously is on the crashing and fast tracking techniques to reduce the project scheduling using your Primavera P6 EPPM. Okay. I'm just handing over to my colleagues. So team, please take over and start into and get into the topic, please. So Vailraj, please start.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Pandian sir, for your wonderful introduction about the various project management tools that can be used from project initiation to the closure. So now let's get into the core section of the webinar today. So the topic here is crashing and fast tracking the project schedule using Primavera P6. So before getting into the core section of the topic, let's have a short overview of Primavera P6 APPM. So Primavera P6 EPPM is a web-based project management tool, and the salient feature of EPPM is its feasibility in scheduling. And apart from that, we can have a control over the cost and see its forecast as well. The performance measurement technique used in Primavera is earned value management, where we can monitor the performance of the project based on its plan and its progress. So resources plays a major role in projects activities and completing an activity. So we can create labor and non-labor and material resources and track its progress in a project. When it comes to scheduling and decomposing the work, WBS and activities, so they play a major role here. As said earlier, with the earned value management technique, we can track the progress of WBS and work packages. Several activity types like uh, task dependent, resource dependent, LOE activities are available. Apart from that, constraints can be used and activity codes are also available to have a full accuracy over the project schedule. And the additional feature of Primavera P6 EPPM is the availability in its mobile app. So we can, there's an Android apps available and iOS also, apps are also available, where we can install it in our mobile device and monitor the day-to-day progress of the particular activities associated for the particular user. And industry defined reports are also made available with Primavera. Apart from that, in case if we need some custom reports to be built in based on the requirement, we can go with Oracle BI Publisher, and those reports can be made available with P6 EPPM as well. So now let's get into the trends and normal practices in project management. So in a normal day, a project has a triple constraint, that is the scope, time, and cost. And these factors has to be kept constant to make a project successful. So if we are changing any one of these factors, the relative other factors will also get affected. So as per the project management theory of constraints, we need to keep these scope, time, and cost as a constraint, and we need to work on it so that we can achieve the targets as well. But this is the normal day life. But when it comes to the business market, the faster the completion rate, the longer is the benefit realization and to sustain the competition. So there will be many competition across the globe, and we need to, and our company has to sustain in the global market. So we need to act faster and we need to get our act quickly. So this is where duration compression techniques from the technical project management area plays a vital role. So crashing and fast tracking are the two schedule compression techniques that can be used here. So as a project manager, helping our clients must meet their tight schedules. Tight schedule constraint provides a competitive advantage to both our organization and to the client as well. Let us say that we have some incentive based contract, and the delivery which we provided is of quality, so we will be having a good incentive as well. So it is a big benefit to our organization. And if the particular product or the service which we are going to create or provide is having a good reach in the market, then the buyer obviously will be will be providing some rewards based on the work which we have dedicated. So it is a win-win combination for both the client as well as our organization. So this is the current trends and practices in project management when it comes to delivering a requirement based on the client's objectives. So now let's get into the core section of the topic. So the core section of the topic today is crashing and fast tracking the schedule. So these two techniques, completely revolve around scheduling in Primavera P6. So let's discuss about scheduling in Primavera P6. So Primavera P6 follows the critical path method of scheduling. So critical path is a path where total float is equal to 0. So the activities that the activities that are falling in the critical path should not be escalated to avoid delaying of the project finish date. So theoretically, critical path method uses early start, early finish, late start, and late finish on all the activities in the project schedule, and it does a forward pass from start to the end. It does calculate the durations, and also it does a reverse pass where the duration of the particular activities will be calculated from the end to the start as well. So by this method, we can calculate the float of the particular activity. So float is a value or a duration from which a particular activity can be delayed without affecting the project's finish date. So this is called as total float. And this is the concept of critical path method as well. So this logic is followed in Primavera with the scheduling techniques and logics. And when it comes to Primavera, so these are the following key elements that are to be maintained to create a schedule with high accuracy. So these are there are two components that are used to create a schedule with high accuracy. So the one is the duration of the activity. So once we are defining the scope of the particular project, we will be starting to decompose the work and we will be segregating it into tasks. So once all these activities has been identified, and we will be having an estimates. So we will be having an estimates based on the historical data. So once these estimates has been done, we will be providing the duration of the particular activity to calculate the duration of the project. So this duration has to be applied to the activities. And next comes the relationship. So we should provide the dependencies among the activities to create a schedule network. So the project starts from initiation to the closure. So we need to have a cyclic reaction of, a chain reaction of the project of the activities involved to have the deliverable attained. So this is the scheduling technique and practices that is being followed in Primavera P6. So we can have a view of how scheduling looks in Primavera and the schedule settings that is available with P6. So we can see that there are two activities: earth excavation and sand filling the compaction are available in the Gantt chart, and these two activities are being linked by a relationship line. So we can see from the Gantt chart that there is a line going between these two activities, indicating that a relationship is being followed here. That is, an FS relationship is being followed here. So the finish and start is relationship is being followed here. And in the next section, we can see the various scheduling settings that are available with Primavera, which we can modify based on the progress of the particular activities. So this is the various scheduling options that is available with Primavera P6. So now let's get into the topic of today's webinar. So the first among one is schedule crashing. So schedule crashing is the process of compressing a schedule by adding more resources to an activity. So initially we might have estimated the duration of the activity, and we might have known the resources who are going to contribute in the particular activity. But there can be some tightness in your schedule where a particular activity's delay is going to affect the successor activity, and relatively it is going to affect the project's finish date. So in that case, where put we want to bring the schedule back to its normal state, we will be adding more resources into the particular activity to attain its possible finish date as early as possible. So this type of technique to reduce the duration of the activity is called as schedule crashing. So schedule crashing is mostly applied on activities on the critical path. So activities on the critical path has a total float less than or equal to 0. So crashing uh, the activities here is to help the duration to get a bit shorter, and so that we can have the particular activities get completed within the set duration amount of time. So this is the theory of schedule crashing. So there are some considerations which we need to see when it comes to crashing a schedule. So the first one here is adding resources constitute additional cost. We know that once we are creating the schedule, we will be doing the estimates, and from that estimates we will be having our budgets too. So the budget estimates will be calculated from the top to bottom up estimation, and we will be having a set amount of budget or cost that is being associated to work only for this particular activity alone. So once we are adding the resources, we are going to increase the cost as well. So addition of cost has to be considered here. And the second consideration here is the project schedule will get prone to more risk because of the involvement of more labor. So currently we might have assigned some proficient resources to work on the particular activities, and in order to compensate the duration, in order to reduce the duration of the activity, we might be involving some labors who are less proficient in the particular activity. So we have to see that consideration, and then we have to check the risk that is going to happen on the particular activity just by adding the resources. So this constitutes the learning curve. And the third one is the law of diminishing returns. So we should also consider the law of diminishing returns as well. So adding the resources not only decreases the duration, but also reduces the maximum yield, maximum potential of the particular resources. So certain things take a definite set of time. So that is the concept being followed with the law of diminishing returns. And these are the three considerations which needs to be followed when crashing a schedule. And we can have an example of schedule crashing. So let's say an activity A and activity B following an FS network, and activity A is having a slip from its planned state, planned duration. So we are adding additional resources to compensate the activity A to bring back to its planned state. So this is the and this is an example of crashing. And crashing can be used in activities that are falling in the critical path. And the one more example of schedule crashing is where the contract type is incentive based. When a contract type is incentive based, a frequent crashing of the schedule, because in order to avail the incentive we need to finish the work on an expected date. So to do that, we need to add more resources to the project, and we need to complete the project as early as possible to avail the incentives. So these are the major examples of schedule crashing. And one more example is there, which is the overtime of the resources. So overtiming the particular resources in order to finish the activity within the planned date is also a example of schedule crashing as well. So we have seen the theoretical part of schedule crashing. So let us come to Primavera now and see what are the considerations which we need to do when it comes to schedule crashing in Primavera P6. So the first one here is the organization's maximum resource limit. So the organization must have a full-fledged access to the resources, or else this might lead to some over allocations of the resources, because the whole concept of schedule crashing is dependent wholly on the resources. So we are increasing the resources, which means we have to see the addition, I mean the over limit of the limit of the particular resources as well. So this is one of the considerations which we need to maintain when it comes to schedule caching in Primavera P6. So on the second one is the duration type. So duration type is one of the parameters that can be involved when progressing an activity with Primavera P6. So there are 4 duration types that is available in Primavera P6, but when it comes to schedule crashing, we need to go with fixed units. It is one of the duration type method that is available, and we need to follow the fixed units method to do the schedule crashing in Primavera P6. And the duration type concept can be explained in easier method. So there's a triangle here you can see from the screen, where each node represents each parameters like durations, units, and units per time. So the concept of duration type is that we are fixing one end and we are inputting the other end, and the relative third end will be calculated by the P6. So this is the concept. This is the concept behind duration types followed in Primavera P6. So here we are following the fixed units. So which means we are fixing the units end and we are inputting the units per time end to see the duration of the particular activity is getting reduced. So this is the duration type concept that is being followed in schedule crashing with Primavera P6. And the last one is resource leveling. So resource leveling should be turned off, because when we are using the resource leveling and we are increasing the resources, so the concept of schedule crashing is we are going to increase the resource. So without turning off the resource leveling, we cannot expect the particular resources to work or to get the cost that is being calculated for the particular resources. So we need to turn off the resources before going into schedule crashing with Primavera P6. So these are the considerations which we need to maintain when it comes to schedule crashing in Primavera P6. And we can see an example for schedule crashing here. So there are two conditions here: before crashing and after crashing. So we can see from the before crashing, there is an activity which has been highlighted here. So the name of the activity is clear this site, and the planned duration of the particular activity is 5 days. Below the screen in the detail section, we can see the assignment of the resources. So there are 3 resources constituting the work for the particular activity. So site engineer, labor, and JCB. So planned duration of these resources are 1, 2, and 1. And when we are applying crashing, we can see from the after crashing screen that we are changing as per the duration type concept which I have explained earlier. We are changing the planned units per time of the particular resources. So we can see from the 3 resources that the planned units per time of the site engineer, labor, and JCB are getting doubled, and it's been increased. So it is been increased to 2, 4, and 2 to see that the duration of the particular activity has been reduced. So the duration of the particular activity clear the site has been reduced from 5 days to 2.5 days. So this is the concept of schedule crashing with Primavera P6. We are changing the units per time of the particular resources by fixing the units of the particular activity, so that the duration of the particular activity is getting changed. So this is the concept behind schedule crashing and and duration type as well. So now let's get into the other main topic of our webinar. So the next one is fast tracking. So fast tracking is also one of the schedule compression techniques that can be used in project management's day-to-day lives. So fast tracking is the process of allowing activities or phases to overlap. So we are allowing two activities to run parallelly. Here the precedence in the sense the relationship is being ignored, and the activities are allowed to run parallelly. So normally we will be following an activity, we will be following a relationship between the activities to reach from the start to the end. So each activity is mostly the relationship for an activity followed is finish to start, where we will be following an finish to start relationship to reach the end. So in this condition of schedule compressing, that is the fast tracking, we are ignoring the relationship among the activities to run the activities parallelly in a to run the activity simultaneously. So this is the concept of fast tracking. So fast tracking can be done at any section of the schedule. Previously, when we were discussing about schedule crashing, we said that schedule crashing is applied to activities mostly on the critical path. But when it comes to fast tracking, we can apply fast tracking at any activities in or any sections in the schedule. So fast tracking does not limit itself to the critical path alone. So this is one of the considerations, I mean, this is one of the points which we can take from fast tracking the schedule. And like schedule crashing, there are also some considerations which we need to follow in fast tracking as well. So fast tracking allows us to rush for work. So these two activities are running parallelly, which means we need to concentrate on two activities. So there will be a rush amongst the workers to finish the particular activity. So this creates a rush, which means a reworks can also, there is a possibility of high reworks that can be that is acceptable because of this fast tracking. Because two activities are running parallelly, so increase in reworks risk is there, which means rework cost is also is the impact of the particular risk. And the second one is quality of the service is getting reduced because of the reworks. We are the quality of the service which we are going to provide is also getting reduced. So these are the two considerations which we need to see when fast tracking the schedule. So this is an example for fast tracking the schedule. So laying of foundations before starting the construction is an example, and the primer cool off time between the painting can also be an example. And normally we can see that an activity has a FS relationship, but after fast tracking we are allowing the activities to run parallelly to see that these activities are at high risk of stake. So this is the fast example for fast tracking, and there are some considerations to be maintained in fast tracking as well. So we have discussed about the considerations, that is the high risk and the quality of the service might get reduced. So like crashing the schedule with Primavera P6, there are some considerations which we need to follow in fast tracking the schedule with Primavera P6 as well. So the first one is schedule logic. So the schedule logic should be maintained at progress override. By default, initially we will be following the retained logic scheduling logic, because retained logic states that we will be following the activities based on the relationships that are being assigned to the particular activity. So that is the concept of retained logic. But when it comes to progress override, we are ignoring the relationship and making the activities to run parallelly. So we need to switch our scheduling logic to progress override. So this is one of the consideration and main consideration to be maintained when it comes to fast tracking the schedule with Primavera P6. And the second one is the duration type. So previously with schedule caching, we have explained about the concept of duration type. Now for fast tracking, we need to maintain the duration type of the particular activity to fixed duration and units. So duration of the activity is fixed and the work units is fixed, because we are just overlapping the activities and we are not reducing the durations or work units of the particular activity. So this type of duration type is to be followed for activities in the fast tracking step. So normally duration type normally for every activity in a progressive state, we need to go with this fixed duration and units duration type. And the third one is resource leveling should be turned off, because we are fast tracking the schedule, which means we are overlapping the schedule, we are overlapping the activities, and with to see that the resources who are working in these activities might also get um, might also has to work parallelly, which means there can be an over allocation for a certain duration of time because these two activities are running parallelly. So to crash a schedule, we need to turn off the resource leveling as well. So let's see an example for fast stacking with Primavera P6. And we can see from the screen there are two sections here: before fast tracking and after fast tracking. So before fast tracking, we can see two activities, that is surveying and excavation is available, and it follows an FS relationship. The finish to start relationship is being followed for these two activities. And after fast tracking, where the activities are allowed to run parallelly, we can see that the relationship logic is being ignored here, and these activities are running parallelly. So this is how fast tracking is done with Primavera P6. So we can get into the so this concludes our theory part of the webinar, and after this we can have a practical session on how we are going to apply this schedule compression techniques, that is the schedule crashing and fast tracking the schedule with Primavera P6. So now let's get into the Primavera P6 environment to see how fast tracking and schedule crashing works. So this is the login screen of Primavera P6, where we need to provide the login credentials. I'll be providing my login credentials right now. So let's wait for the sign in to complete. So the loading screen has been done, and we have got into the interface of Primavera P6 right now. So now we can see the dashboards section of the Primavera P6, and portfolios are available. Projects, resources, reports, and administration tabs are also available. So when it comes to viewing the projects, we need to go to the project section. We need to go to the project section, where we can see the EPS, activities, team usage, and assignments of the particular activities can be seen here. So let's wait for the screen to load here. And the screen has been loaded right now. We can see these are the EPS. EPS denotes the various on various subdivisions in an organization where our projects will be located. So we can see our projects is been located in this section, webinar projects, and the project has been already created. So to open a project, we need to click on the particular project and select the settings icon that is being provided here, and we need to select the open project button. Sorry, so we need to select the open project button to open the project first of all. And once a project has been opened, we need to go to the activities page to see the various activities that is been listed for the particular project. So let's wait for the screen to load right now. So the project has been opened right now, and we can see there are two WBS available here. So the WBS has been marked by a rectangle symbol. So once expanding this WBS, we can see the activities that are available in the particular schedule. So now we are going to apply the technique of crashing and fast tracking the schedule with Primavera P6. So let's go with this activity first of all. So clear the site. We can apply the schedule crashing technique first of all. So one of the consideration with Primavera P6 when it comes to schedule crashing is the duration type. So we have to change the duration type to fixed unit. So the duration type column will be available in the general section, and we need to change the duration type to fixed units. And after that, we need to go to the resource assignments where we are increasing the labor units per time. So currently for this activity, we can see that 3 labors are being used, and we are going to increase the planned units per time. The work time for the particular resources has is being increased right now by fixing the work units. So we are doubling the resource assignments for these resources to see that we are going to reduce the duration of the particular activity. So previously the activities, the duration of the particular activity was 10 days, and right now the duration of the particular activity has been reduced to 5 days. So we can see from the Gantt chart as well. The yellow bar represents the baseline of the particular activity, and the red bar, so this is the actuals bar. So this is the red bar, which denotes that the schedule has been compressed to half its size, and we can see the compression in the schedule actuals as well. So this is how schedule crashing works with Primavera. We just have to we not one we just have to schedule the activities right now, because we have changed the planned units for this particular resources. So to do that, we need to go to the particular option called schedule, which will be available in the screen, and we need to schedule on this data date to see to make the particular schedule valid. So a schedule log will appear right now. We can see various errors that are being available with the schedule, in case if an error is there with the with the schedule log. So now after scheduling, we can see the FS relationship is being followed for the activities, but there is a slip between the activities because we have shortened the duration of the particular activity, clear the site, to see that the corresponding activities, that is the surveying and marking and excavation, so these activities are getting off from their planned starts as well. So this is because we have shortened the duration of the activity, clear the site. So this is how schedule crashing works with Primavera P6. So these are the considerations which we need to make, and this is how we need to progress or demonstrate schedule crashing with Primavera P6. And the next one is fast tracking. So before fast tracking, let us see how we are going to update the particular activity. So for this activity, clear the site, I'm going to make the activity start and finish, and I'm going to do the actual labor units as well. So this activity is going as per the plan, so we are updating the plans and actuals in a same way. So once the activities has been changed, once the actuals has been applied and saved, we need to schedule the activity on the day which we are going to take the reports. So we are going to schedule the activity here on a particular data date. Let's say I'm scheduling the particular activity on 11th of September, and the corresponding time for scheduling is 6 p.m. I'm scheduling it. So the schedule has been done right now. Once expanding the WBS, we can see the data date was previously at this the starting stage of the particular activity. Now the data date has been switched to the end of the particular activity. So once an activity is been completed, we need to update the progress of the particular activity to see to monitor its progress. So this is how updating the progress with Primavera works. So the next technique which we saw was fast tracking the schedule. So to fast track a schedule, we need to allow two activities to run parallelly. So in order to do that, we need to start this particular activity surveying. Let's say this activity has to be started, and we need to have some progress for this activity. So before having some progress, we need to see the considerations for fast tracking the particular activity. So the duration type to be followed for this activity should be fixed duration and units, because we are fixing the duration and the work time for this particular activity. So we have to maintain the duration type fixed duration and units when an activity is in progress. So we are starting the particular activity, and we are having some updates for this activity. Let us say 50% of this activity has been completed, and the remaining duration is 14 days, because 28 days is the planned duration of the particular activity and 14 days of work is remaining. And we need to update the resource assignments as well. So we are going to update the actuals that has been done for the exact 50% of the particular activity. So once this is done, we need to save the particular changes which we have made, and we need to change the data date to show the 50% progress in the project schedule. So we need to change the data date as per the progress of the particular activity. Now the schedule's data date is at 11th of September. So we are switching it to 1st of October. So we are scheduling it now. So the error log will appear. So sorry, schedule log will appear. And now we can see the data date has been switched from this activities end to this particular activity which is in progress. So currently we can see that this activity has some progress in it. Now we are going to apply the technique of fast tracking the particular schedule by making this activity excavation to run parallelly with the activity surveying and marking. So in order to do that, the schedule crashing consideration, sorry, the fast tracking consideration should be done, where we need to change the duration type of the particular activity to fixed duration and units. So once this is done, we need to start the particular activity. We need to give some updates for the particular activity. Let's say 30% of the activity has been done, and remaining duration has to be changed, because the planned duration was 15 days and we are changing the remaining duration to 12 days. So 3 days of work has been done so far, and we need to change the assignments for the particular activity as well to in order. So if we don't change the actual units, we don't have these updates in the cost as well. So in order to get the cost forecasted in the particular project, we need to change the actual units of the particular activity. So the planned units for this particular activity is 15 15 15, and right now 3 days of work has been completed, which I am not denoting it in the actuals as per the planned units per time. So once this is done, we are saving the schedule, and in the meanwhile, surveying activity is also having some status updates with it. So we are making some updates changes for this activity as well. So 60% of this activity has been completed, and the remaining duration, let us say, is 12 days of work is remaining, and we are changing the actuals also for this particular resources, for the resources involved in this particular activity. So once this is done, we are saving the schedule, and we need to schedule on the corresponding data date. So I'm switching the data date to 6th of Tuesday to see. And one more consideration which we saw while fast tracking the schedule is changing the scheduling logic to progress override. So now we are allowing these two activities, that is the surveying and marking and excavation, to run parallelly. So to do that, we need to change the scheduling logic to progress override, and we need to save the settings, and we need to schedule right now. So once this scheduling has been done, we can see the from the Gantt chart that these two activities will run parallelly. Fixed duration and units, 15% of the progress. Okay. Sorry, we have not changed the activity start date. So let's change the activity start date to 1st of October and then save it, and we can schedule it. We have to reschedule it again because I made some error by not changing the start date. So the following settings has to be maintained, that is progress override has to be maintained, and we need to schedule right now. So once scheduling is done, we can see the changes in the schedule. So we can see that these two activities, now the activity surveying and marking and excavation, these two activities are running parallelly, and the following next activity, the basement wall, is now following a relationship logic because we didn't change the scheduling logic for this particular activity, but for this activity, that is surveying and marking and excavation, we have ignored the relationship, which means that the relationship line, which was a solid line previously, has now been replaced by dotted lines. So this shows that the relationship logic of this particular activity has been ignored. So this is how we need to apply the schedule compression techniques with Primavera P6. So now let's get back into the slide presentation to see what is up next. So by this, we have completed the core topics of today's webinar. Now we can see what are the various services what ImageGrafix is offering. So ImageGrafix has established itself as one of the leaders in project management, and we are providing the following services like the implementation service, where we will be installing Primavera P6 EPPM in your database, and we will be migrating the existing projects which you have in various other tools or even in P6 as well to the new database. So this is the implementation services which we provide with ImageGrafix software services. And the next one is integration services. So we are providing the integration services from one platform to the other platform or the ERP tools. So these kinds of integration services is also being provided. And the third one is managed services, where we will be having some contractual relationships, where we will be having an annual contractual relationships, and we will be providing the technical support and the functional support as well. So with the managed services, and the professional services is also available, where we have some qualified personals, Primavera personals to your organization for a deputation work, and to in order to maintain the particular schedule of your organization or the particular projects of your organization can be managed by our trained personals. So that comes under the professional services. And the last one is the training services. So we provide trainings for Primavera fundamental trainings is also been provided, and advanced level trainings is also been provided by ImageGrafix Software Solutions. So this concludes our today's webinar. Now you can all send your questions, which me and our team will be addressing it. So there's a question box here where you can send your questions, and me and our team will be addressing all those queries here.
Hi, Velraj. Thank you for your session. So let's take up the questions now. So I'm just opening up the question box and see that what are the queries, and we can answer for the same, of course. So
Okay, sir,
let me
thank you.
start. Let me start the question. I just request to Vailraj Srinivasan to keep their mic open so that once the question comes, you can answer for the same. The first question to take it up is, okay, by adding resources, we are crashing of the schedule. Is vice versa is possible? Srinivasan, can you answer for this?
Yeah, instead of adding resources, if you remove resource, your duration gets elongated depending upon the duration type.
Okay, all right. Suppose if you would like to talk, put the hands raised after this query. We will come to the hands raised session too, of course. Okay, can we get a copy of this presentation slide? You will get the link where the whole videos with whatever we speak and everything is available for you. As I told you, the link will be available maybe in a day or two. For it will come to your emails back, which one you've registered, so that you can option to go through this repeatedly, or if you want to share to any of your colleagues, friends, you can very well show it. Of course. Please show the baseline dates. Suhas Batmanaban. I think I could see from Suhas there is a couple of queries. Better I'll just go to the directly to Suhas. I'll try to unmute. Can you put the hands raised so that I'll unmute you so that you can speak directly? Shugesh, sorry. Okay, Shugesh, once you put your hands raised so that I can push and unmute you, then we can discuss your queries at that time. Can you please show us a curve in EPPM, not an Excel sheet, budgeted cost versus actual cost, forecast cost? I believe we have made a separate session on this, if I'm not wrong. Srinivasan, I think we did a session on this one separately, right? There is one more webinar is available on this S curve, budgeted versus actual cost, all these things. Is that right?
Yeah, we did one for earned value.
Yeah. So probably, we will be in a position, we will try to send you the link for our old webinars where you can go and learn these particular areas on the same. Okay. So can you please share the presentation, the same question again one more time. If iRisk is involved in fast tracking, where and why the fast tracking can be used? Team, can you answer for this question? If iRisk is involved,
yeah, wherever there is an incentive offered for completing the project ahead of the schedule, then you can do a comparison whether the risk or the contingency what you are going to face is that higher than the incentive. You need to do a trade-off, right, between the risk and the other thing.
Okay, I'm just unmuting now Shuga so that he can position to ask his question. Shugesh. Shugesh, are you able to see? Shugesh, you have muted yourself. Can you unmute and ask the question, please? Okay, I'll move to the next question. Sorry about this. Okay. Do you offer certification in P6? Yes, we do have a certified training courses are available. Please send us an email so that we can send you the information on the same. This Primavera integrate the MS projects. You can import all the MS project files to Primavera, of course. Yes, you can take MS project file into Primavera. Yes, it's possible. Fast tracking can be applied during baseline schedule preparation to ignore the logic. So this is possible, or can you answer plus this?
Yeah, basically fast tracking can be applied at any point of time, right? So in case while creating the baseline schedule you apply it, that is also possible, or even during the progress of the project. In case you want to do fast tracking, yes, you can do it. Okay. Did that answer your question, Mr. Thomas?
Okay, I'm just moving to the next one. Deploying more resources without leveling, how can we calculate the requirement?
So this is where the resource analysis tab is available. So we can monitor the resource but we need to provide the resource limit when creating a resource. So based on that, we can monitor the resource progress, or I mean the limit of the resource and the usage of the particular resource through the activity in the resource analysis tab. Or else if you want to see the resource usage throughout the whole organization, it can also be possible by going to the particular activity and seeing the whole assignments in the resources tab as well.
Thank you, Velraj. Can we apply crashing and fast tracking together?
Yeah,
It
you
is
can do
possible. It is possible once if you properly maintain all those considerations which we have explained right now, so that you won't face any kind of errors, or you won't be seeing any kinds of issues during the scheduling. So the considerations has to be maintained.
Okay. For the resource-driven program, such as the example shown, the activity type considered is task dependent instead of resource dependent. How does that work?
So the resource dependent type with Primavera works when the particular activity is having a resource calendar. So let's say there are three types of calendar which is being used with Primavera. So all the three are resource, project, and global. So the project will be using a particular project calendar where the resources involved in it will be following the activity, I mean the calendar that is been assigned to the project. But in case if the particular resource working in a a specialized resource who's having a separate calendar is working on an activity in a project calendar, we need to we need to change the particular activity type to resource dependent, so that the activity will be driven by the particular resource, so not the task. So this is where resource dependent and task dependent will be useful with Primavera P6.
Okay, thank you. We will appreciate if you share the link for the webinar where we can see the exact budgeted unit versus SCO. Actually, for the team, I just would like to highlight one point. If you visit YouTube or ImageGrafix channel, in that, we have uploaded most of the videos. I believe the EVM, the earned value management, with all this information, that video is also already uploaded to my knowledge. So you can check on our YouTube ImageGrafix channel. But if you would like to, if you want the link, please send us an email so that we can also check either the go to webinar or YouTube, whatever the link available, we can position to share it with you. Of course, not a problem. Okay. Can we apply crashing or fast tracking techniques globally to all critical activities in one go?
Yes, that is possible, but it is also a high risk when it comes to scheduling, because we need to do certain filters, we need to apply some certain filters to the project to see only the activities in the critical path alone, and we will be applying the fast tracking or crashing technique. But once we are applying the filters, the other activities apart from the critical path will not be there in the schedule. So it is a risk which we need to consider.
Okay, thank you. Can we upgrade P6 Professional to EPPM? No, it's not possible. P6 PPM to EPPM upgrade is not possible. You have to buy new. Uh, okay, is productivity of men, material, machinery library exist in this? Is that question is clear? Can be answered, or you need elaboration? Uh, Srinivasan Vailraj needs some more
So
information, or
now
we? Okay, let me unmute.
productivity in the sense,
Unmute Ram Prasad so that he
yes,
can ask
yes,
this.
productive. Okay,
Ram
okay.
Prasad, I have unmuted you. Can you unmute and you can speak now? Ram Prasad, are you there? It is self-muted, so can you unmute yourself and speak? Okay, let me move on to the next question. Do you give trainings on climbs and planning? Yeah, okay, all right. Yes, Ram Prasad. Can you elaborate your question, please?
Do we have a library?
Okay, Ram Prasad, better you can type it in so that we can take up your questions and we can answer for the same. Sorry about that. The big echo is coming, so if you're not able. Oh, I think now it's clear. Yes, please go ahead.
Now it's clear. Okay.
Yes.
Can we have resources built-in library? Do you find built-in library within your software so that when we plan when we give the volume of task, it will automatically choose from the library the number of case and all?
You don't have such a facility, but what you have is a resource dictionary wherein you can define what are the resources, what is their rates, availability, all those information can be given in a resource dictionary, and you will have to assign the resources to the activities.
Okay.
Basically,
So we can redefine resources, men, material, and machineries, right?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. So it's all integrated schedule. I will get it. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Is it possible to apply lean methodology of construction with the help of Primavera?
Yes, it is possible. Let me answer for this question. Is it possible?
Yeah.
But there is a product called Oracle Primavera Cloud is available. If once you have that particular product, then you can option to do the lean scheduling along with the CPM. What you will be doing it right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, do you give training on claims and for snake planning? Yes, we can. So, please send us an email so that we can send you the proposal for the same. I mean, the agenda for the same. One by one activity. I don't know the question clear. Will the project value change if crash or fast track schedule has been done? A project value will change. I don't think so, right?
No, when you do crashing, you're adding more resource into it, which will be increasing the cost, which is in turn your project value. Fast tracking, you may or may not have a change in the cost, but in crashing, definitely you'll be having the project value change.
Okay. If resources is not assigned, will this technique works?
Without resource assignment, crashing will not work, but fast tracking will work.
Okay. Let me just unmute one more person. Sarbajit Chaudhary, I'm just unmuting you so that you can speak now. So you can unmute yourself and you can speak, please. I just went to the hands raised people. So hands raised, there are a couple of hands raised. So Sarbajit Chaudhary, can you unmute yourself and you can speak now? Okay, I'm just getting into the questions again. I'm just giving option again to Titu Thomas. Titu Thomas, can you?
Hi. Sorry, earlier my voice I could not. I think it could not reach you because I clicked the wrong option. Hello, can you hear?
Yes, it's very clear. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So what we were discussing that point I could not hear because I clicked on a wrong option. We were discussing on the baseline schedule, whether crashing this technique can work or not. So Mr. Srinivasan was giving some response. Can you please repeat that?
Yeah, okay. Fast tracking crashing can be applied at any point of time, whether you are doing your baseline or not, or even after doing the baseline schedule, you can apply the crashing or fast tracking.
Okay, so the logics, I mean, the previous logic we can see it.
You will have
we
to
don't
go
need
for
to.
any baselining.
Pre-baseline. The reason is, most of the time the project managers don't agree with the baseline schedule. Which are real logics, they will not agree. I mean, so that time, we need to somehow bring back the completion date. So this is the usual.
They ask you for a catch-up schedule, right?
Not catch up, but before even preparing the baseline schedule.
Now, I do agree on that. Project managers ask you for catch-up schedule, right?
So catch-up schedule will come once the project is, going beyond the during execution. I'm saying before execution, the baseline schedule itself. If it is going, if it's a 12-month project, if it's going to 13-month, as per the proper logic, as per the company requirement, the review cycle period, or and retaining the sequence of the activities, it may go beyond the schedule required timeline. So that time we need to ignore this logics, and we have to maintain that finish to start logic also. That we have to maintain. Otherwise, the schedule integrity will not be there.
Titu,
crashing.
Okay. Thank you, Titu. I'm just trying to rush up for last couple of questions to wind up the session. So, thank you, Titu. Resource reallocation is also way for compression of time schedule. Does this tool support this method? Is one of the question. Even he suggested that it is going to be worth to take another topic on the same. Is it Srinivasan? Any response on this? Resource reallocation is also a way of compression of time schedule.
Yeah, once you reassign or reallocate the resource, you get something done on the crashing part, right? So it will actually be a technique, but then if you want to really see the impact of your resource reallocation, then you will have to combine that with your duration type and then do it.
Okay, like he suggested, maybe we may in a portion to take additional topic on the same if required at a later stage, of course. Thank you, Jihad Daniel. Where there are multiple users updating the PGM, is there any thing to take care? Okay. All right, do you have a training on climbs and fournace? Yes, we have. Please send us an email. We can push to help you on the same. That's a final question. I'm going to take it. Possible to assign overtime to the resources so that the duration of the activities can be reduced and overtime cost can be monitored separately.
Yeah, you can do that. You can assign overtime to resources, and you can monitor the overtime unit separately and the cost associated with that.
All right.
Regarding the previous question, where the multiple users are updating the PGM and which unit, what is the thing which we need to take care. So that is where the OBS plays a major role. We can have the control account planning where the particular user for the section for the WBS only can update the particular activity and no one can involve in the schedule, and a certain scheduler will be available to schedule the particular activity. So it will not be the person responsible for the WBS alone will take care of the scheduling. There will be a common scheduling, that is the project responsible person will be there who will be scheduling the activity, and no one can do that. So that is possible with Primavera IPPM.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thanks team, and thanks participants. So we will meet again in the next webinar in the next month, of course. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thanks everyone. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.